sands of her diamond deserts. All around me a voice was sounding.
This is a development out here, this Holcomb Road. A couple years ago there wasn't anything out here, and out here you got 3 feet to bedrock in some places. So maybe its highest and best use was for a country development where people can escape the city and come out here and build their dream house and have some land to walk on.
Tim Westoven is a real estate agent who has sold many homes to people who are tired of the pace of city life and who dream of a better life in the country.
All these houses out here were just in the last 2 years they were built. Yeah, most people living out in the country, they want to have at least 2 acres. But really, most people that are moving out in the country don't want 5 acres because it's a lot to care for. Unless it's woods or something like that, they just as soon have just a couple acres because it's a lot easier to care for, and they don't want to have a quarter-mile long lot, really. They'd rather have just a couple acres. Although, you know, it's a benefit, it's a bonus if you have 5 acres. It's more land, yeah. As Northwest Ohio becomes more populated and it's becoming a real, I mean, it's one of the stronger industrial areas in the country in Northwest Ohio. The Golden Triangle, all the highways converging at the same point. It's creating a lot of new jobs, and that brings a lot of people into the area. And it's coming down south from Toledo. Northern Wood County is really burgeoning with industry, and people don't mind a 15-mile drive to get into work. So they'll come out here and live in the country. They have a good job. They can pay for the house, and so that's why it's all being developed out here.
We went to see Ron Snyder, the owner of this hog farm, and found not only was he angry about the new development being built just on the edge of his property, but he also wanted to take us for a ride.
What we should do is hop you in the truck and take you around the countryside.
Can we all go?
You want
can
blue
the
one,
camera fit on too?
Or do you want an air-conditioned one?
Air would be good.
Get your camera. Here's part of our concerns, because the driveway here, the pipe wasn't put in right. The pipe should be out further than the driveway, and you're going to have stone going down in that ditch. And these ditches are the waterways to dry this whole county. And here's a real good house. You want to live there? I don't begrudge anybody wanting to live out here. It's got to be the greatest place there is in the world, because everybody wants to move here, that's for sure. But yeah, as long as they take care of it, I don't care. But, you know, basically you got 40 acres here that's all in weeds. And you're not going to come out here with your MTD and mow it. You know, I'm just kind of waiting to see when we get a good hard winter out here. The snow gets belly deep to an elephant.
I've spoken to several developers that feel that they have a right to do what they want with the land they purchase, and if anyone else wanted that land, they had an opportunity to buy it like they did. These guys buy them in the same market that everyone else has access to, and when they buy it, especially ground that its highest and best use would be for homes such as right next to a city. You know, when you're, you know, the land abuts the city, there's no reason not to develop it. Even out in the country here where the land, you know, it's close to bedrock in some areas and other areas it isn't. It's not the best farmland anyway. It gives people a place to go, you know, to get away from the city. It might hurt some of the local farmers to see it going up for development, but the owner has a right to do what he wants with the land that he owns. And the farmer has a right to sell that land for the higher money to a developer, so that the developer will pay more money for his land and he won't have to sell it off for thousands of dollars per acre cheaper to another farmer.
Talked to a friend of mine the other night. We've already lost 4,000 acres this year alone in development. Fine, people want to live here, but they can live in a house. If they don't have nothing to eat, it's not my problem.
So you think that's really going to happen one day? That we won't have enough farmland?
Not in my lifetime. But you know, you got to make use of what you got. And this country's been on a throwaway binge like a big pin for how many years? You just can't do it forever. Can't do it forever.
I think, you know, basically as Americans like to eat. Look at us. We are round people. We like eating. So I don't see that we'd ever sell off the farmland to the point where we'd never have anything to eat or enough to eat. And it's enough of a business that people would be interested, like instead of computer monopolies like Bill Gates is going through. I can see a farmland monopoly where one guy owns it all.
How long do you want to eat? It gets back down to basics. You know, you want it to be like Russia? You want to go stand in a bread line for how many hours just to get a loaf of bread? That's what you want. Let it happen. You know, that's the alternative.
Talking about 22.99 acres in the back, and you must have 10% down tonight. You must have the balance within 30 days, and you cannot buy this in any other way, so don't bid on it unless you know that you have the money or you can get the money. It's selling this evening, subject to confirmation of the seller. Now let's get a starting bid, and I had a starting bid of 10 from you, is that correct? And thank you, and 15 and 20,000 and 25 and 25 and $26,000 there, and 27,000 out of here, 28,000.
The Ohio Farm Bureau and government officials are moving cautiously in Ohio. They know that development pressures are spotty across the state. In some areas, urban sprawl and congestion are rampant. In others, the land still appears to be plentiful. So they don't know if Ohioans are ready to spend tax dollars to buy and preserve farmland. The governor has appointed a farmland preservation task force, and several lawmakers have introduced bills to adopt the kind of protections already on the books in other states. But nothing significant has been passed into law. Ohioans, it seems, are still trying to decide if the food produced by the land is more valuable than the homes and factories that can be built on it.
This land is your land, and this land is my land, from the California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.